Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Klepper's Corner, the show where you lose your faith in America, one clip at a time. Today, we're talking about Robert Kennedy Jr., more commonly referred to as RFK Jr. A story was about to break from the New Yorker, so rather than letting them break it, he broke it himself. Oh, God, roll the clip.
I was taking a group of people falconing up in Goshen, New York, up in the Hudson Valley, and I was supposed to meet them there at like maybe 8 or 9. I was driving up maybe, really early, like 7, and that woman in a van in front of me hit a bear and killed it, a young bear. So I pulled over and I picked up the bear and put him in the back of my van because I was going to skin the bear, and it was very good condition, and I was going to put the meat in my refrigerator. And you can do that in New York State. You can get a bear tag for a roadkill bear. And so then we went hawking, and I had the bear in my car. And then we had a really good day, and we went late. We were catching a lot of game, and the people really loved it, so we stayed late. And instead of going back to my home in Westchester, I had to go right to the city because there was a dinner at Peter Luger's Steakhouse. And at the end of the dinner, it went late, and I realized I couldn't go home. I had to go to the airport. And the bear was in my car, and I didn't want to leave the bear in the car, because that would have been bad. So then I thought, at that time, this was a little bit of the redneck in me. There'd been a series of bicycle accidents in New York. They had just put in the bike lanes, and saw a couple of people had gotten killed, and it was every day, and people had gotten badly injured. Every day it was in the press. And so I thought, I wasn't drinking, of course, but people were drinking with me who thought this was a good idea. And I said, I had an old bike in my car that somebody had asked me to get rid of it. I said, let's go put the bear in Central Park and we'll make it look like he got hit by a bike. It'll be funny for people. So everybody thought that's a great idea. So we went and did that, and we thought it would be amusing for whoever found it or something. The next day, it was like, it was on every television station. It was the front page of every paper, and I turned on the TV, and there was like a mile of yellow tape, and there were 20 cop cars. There were helicopters flying over it. And I was like, oh my God, what did I do? And then there was some people on TV in tie-back suits with gloves on lifting up the bike, and they were saying they're going to take this up to Albany to get a fingerprinted.
Uh-oh.
And I was worried because my prints were all over that bike. Luckily, the story died down after a while, and it stayed dead for a decade. And the New Yorker somehow found out about it, and they're going to do a big article on me, and that's one of the articles. So they asked me, the fact checker said, it's going to be a bad story.
I think it's a great story.
Okay, there's a lot to unpack there, but I think I can start by saying what the guess Trump isn't alone in being weird. In news that can only be described as not for the squeamish, RFK Jr. was seen posing with this bear, getting ready to skin the bear. It's like Bear Grylls meets Hannibal Lecter, but with less finesse and more roadkill. I mean, this is beyond parody. This guy, who's a multimillionaire, is scraping roadkill off the highway and is planning to throw it in his freezer. Oh, but before I do that, let me go to the steakhouse that I made reservations for. At this point, RFK is sounding like a Batman villain. Trichinosis would be a good name for him. I've heard he's familiar with parasites and worms. And let's not brush over the fact that after leaving the bear in his car while at a steakhouse, he ultimately dumped it out at Central Park to make it look like a biking accident. How mental do you have to be to do something like that and think it'd be even remotely funny? Just goes to show how disconnected from reality he is. That's it for this unbearable episode of Klepper's Corner. If you enjoyed, do make sure to like and subscribe. Thank you for your time. Have a good one.